So why do you think that is? Why is Israel so aligned with Israel? I'm sorry, why is U.S. so aligned with Israel over Gaza?
I don't know. I mean, there's like a million.
Ask yourself.
Why? So why
I want to know.
You tell me. Because they're white like them? Because they're white like them? Because they're white like them?
So why do you think that is? Why is Israel so aligned with Israel? I'm sorry, why is U.S. so aligned with Israel over Gaza?
I don't know. I mean, there's like a million.
Ask yourself.
Why? So why?
I want to know.
You tell me. Because they're white like them? Are they allowed to put people?
Who's white?
Well, I mean, a lot of Americans consider Israel is the white.
But you know for a fact
I know.
Most Israelis are Sephardic and they're brown.
Well, joining us for our weekly segment, Bottom Line, is Algeminer CEO David Efunis. So, David, let's jump right in. Genetically speaking, are Jews white?
Well, Natasha, it's important to understand, firstly, the intense sensitivity that this question has for the Jewish community. And actually, it's coming up at a personally very relevant time for me. Today is the anniversary of the passing of my great-grandfather, David Weinstock, who was arrested by the Nazis in Vienna in September 1939. And he was taken to the anthropological department at the Vienna Museum of Natural History, and he was subjected to, together with 440 other Jews, to degrading tests and measurements because he was considered by the Nazis to be of an inferior race. So it really is the height of irony and insult that when Jews express concern about anti-Semitism being ignored and a blindness to anti-Semitism, they're then lumped into the white category.
Genetically speaking, are Jews white?
I want to get Dr. Meyer's opinion on this. Classifying it as white Jew, because we know there's black Jews, you know. How does that make you feel? How does that initially hit you when I say, yeah, you know, if I said black and white Jewish relations?
I guess that's mostly what I deal with is in my courses is those interactions. I think again in America most Jews are Ashkenazic Jews who are white. I think again in America most Jews are Ashkenazic Jews who are white. I think again in America most Jews are Ashkenazic Jews who are white. Sometimes part of the problem between the two communities is that some people will take advantage of that, will use their whiteness as a way of promoting themselves, as a way of integrating themselves into whatever community they want to be in by removing themselves and denigrating themselves from some other community. Right. I find that problematic.
Genetically speaking, are Jews white?
Because they're white like them? Are they allowed to put people?
Who's white?
Well, I mean, a lot of Americans consider Israel is the white.
But you know for a fact
I know.
Most Israelis are Sephardic and they're brown.
It's the perception.
So it's bullshit.
It's the perception.
Exactly.
It's a perception, you know. So this is how Israel promotes itself. We are we are a democratic country. I have never seen a secular or democratic country that would actually give contraception shots to its own citizens, to their Ethiopian Jews, and make them not to reproduce. And until 2013, they have confessed doing that. They have been doing this for 10 years. That is not a democratic country.
They also have 130,000 Ethiopians. Now, in this case, the Ethiopians are Jewish, so it doesn't really matter. It's a Jewish state, so they should be welcome, right? Well, not exactly. The health ministry has just admitted that they were doing forced sterilization of Ethiopian women, even though they're Jewish, as they were coming into the country. Now, thank God the sterilization is not permanent, but it did last for a long time. In fact, over the last 10 years, the birth rate among Ethiopians in Israel has dropped by 50%. Now, you don't have to speculate as to why. As I just told you, Israel's health minister has admitted they did the program, and in fact, he sent out a note saying not to renew prescriptions for Depo-Provera for women of Ethiopian origin if for any reason there is concern that they might not understand the ramifications of the treatment. I don't think the issue was that they didn't understand the ramifications of the treatment. The issue was as they were coming in, they were told they had to get that shot. Sometimes they were lied to and said, oh yeah, it's a vaccination and it's going to help you with your health.
I have never seen a secular or democratic country that would actually give contraception shots to its own citizens, to their Ethiopian Jews, and make them not to reproduce. And until 2013, they have confessed doing that. They have been doing this for 10 years. That is not a democratic country. I have never heard a secular country, a democratic country, that would kidnap little kids from Yemeni Jews in 1950 and then take them away and then tell their parents that they die. And they did that in order to instill Semitic DNA in their population. That's why DNA testing is not allowed in Israel.
Today, it is prohibited, and you can Google this, to do a DNA test in Israel. Totally forbidden. Wrong. It's illegal. It's a crime. You'll be jailed if you do a DNA test in Israel. Why? Because they know the truth will come out. You come from Poland, you come from Ukraine, you came from Europe, you came from everywhere else. And they were the original Middle Eastern Jews who lived together with the Muslims and the Christians for centuries. For centuries. So what happened to a lot of the Jews?
I have never heard a secular country, a democratic country, that would kidnap little kids from Yemeni Jews in 1950 and then take them away and then tell their parents that they die. And they did that in order to instill Semitic DNA in their population. That's why DNA testing is not allowed in Israel.
Shalom, Dr. Kelly. Shalom, greetings, my brother. This is Kohen Hamadishe from Zimbabwe. I've been trying to get hold of you, but in vain. I want to respond to what to your question about us, the Lemba people, coming from the white man. I don't know where they got that information from. Whoever gave them that information did for a purpose. Maybe wanted to get some financial assistance and financial help, or so, I don't know. Was definitely, we are not from the white person. We are not. This can be traced, this can be investigated, whether using the DNA or using the oral history. And you can use any type of research you can use. You will never find us being from the white Jews. The nearest you can get us is with the Yemenite Jews in Yemen. Those are our people. Those are our blood. Those are our kin. We left in Yemen when we went to Africa. We will not deny that. Because we share the same names. We share the same features. We share everything with them. Those are our people. Not the white men. It's wrong. It's totally wrong.
I have never heard a secular country, a democratic country, that would kidnap little kids from Yemeni Jews in 1950 and then take them away and then tell their parents that they die. And they did that in order to instill Semitic DNA in their population. That's why DNA testing is not allowed in Israel.
The government of Israel got interested in us. So because of my office also in the parliament, they also approached me, the government of Israel, said, can you help us to collect some samples of DNA? We want to do our own test because we are hearing about your claim that you are Jews, but you want to do our own test on you. So I told them that it's not easy to go and tell someone that I want to collect your blood. It's not easy. So no, we don't take blood. We take saliva. So say, oh, that's okay. So they sent me a kit from Tel Aviv. Then I collected some saliva, DNA samples. It was about 200 from the Lemba in about 60 from non-members, and I sent it to Israel. So a year later, I went there to Israel to collect the results. And I met a guy at a hotel called the Ramat Rasheh Hotel in Jerusalem. So he gave me the results. So he said, we were sitting in the lounge. He said, do you see that? Because in Israel, there's a lot of black people, black boys doing the manual work. They sweep the roads, they run around, they sweeping, cleaning the hotels and all that. So there was one black boy, I think he's from Sudan or Ethiopia. Said, look at, you see that boy? I said, yes. He said, his GN percentage is about 26%. So he said, but with us here, if you look at me, I'm a Jew, but my percentage is 1.5%. That's my DNA percentage. But with those samples we sent to us, they reveal that the labor percentage is 70%, 70%. Not only that you are Jews, but that your blood is only found in the Levites. Not only in the Levites, but in the Kohanim, in the priests of Israel. So that's what he told me. Then I thought maybe he was going to give us an official something written that this is our findings. But up to today, they haven't given me the results.
So why do you think that is? Why is Israel so aligned with Israel? I'm sorry, why is U.S. so aligned with Israel over Gaza?
I don't know. I mean, there's like a million.
Ask yourself.
There's a million. Why? So why?
I want to know.
Tell me, because they're white like them?
Orthodox Jews who are Zionists plan on sacrificing the cows at some point in the Temple Mount. I think that's the intentions. You'd know better, maybe, to hasten the coming of the Messiah. When you hear that, what's your thought on that?
I must explain you. I must tell you firstly, these people are not Jewish.
What's your thoughts? Please be respectful with your comments. Also, please click the like, click the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel.
Listen, Genesis chapter 11 verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this back, Genesis 14 verse 13, Abraham steps on the scene. Being a descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was Abraham, born in the city of a black man called Nimrod, grandson of Ham. Ham had 4 sons. One was named Canaan. Here, let me do some explaining. Abraham, Isaac was Jacob had 12 sons. For real, and these were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10. These were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10. These were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10.